Hi, welcome everyone on the other side. This is a bit awkward. We are not very used to having no audience, but that's how it's going to be now for a while. I guess everyone knows why. We are actually going to celebrate today, but we will tell you more about that in a minute. We have taken off our masks right now. If somebody asks, we are approximately a bit more than 1 meter what do you say? Away from each other? Away from each other, but close enough to hear. With that said, I want to introduce our two guests today. This is
Anu Kippasto, Estonian Embassy.
And
Sofia Joons Gylling, Strand Rand.
And I'm Larry Griffiths from Luckan, Helsinki. We are talking English because there is a lot of people who will be watching these who is from Estonia. And my Estonian, do you say that? Is not very good. I really want to ask, how long time ago was it you contacted me about this concert?
I contacted you, it was a little less than a year ago. And then we had this plan to come and visit Finland during the Svenska veckan, the Swedish day. Yeah. But it was, yes, we decided very soon to move it. And then I just realized that if we move it to February, then we could celebrate the Estonian Independence Day with the concert.
It's awesome.
Yes.
We're actually doing this also with Luckan in Borgo, Kulturens Grand, which is really nice. They had a concert yesterday, and you told me it went splendid.
Yes, it was really beautiful to be there.
Did you see it as well?
No, I didn't. I was working on some other issues because we are celebrating, as you said, Estonian Independence Day. And everything is online, so I was working on those materials.
I want to ask you because a couple of years, I think 2 years ago, I'm very, very sorry to say this, shame on me, and a couple of friends and I went to Estonia, and we thought we're going to have a good time. And everything was closed, and that was the Independence Day, and they had a huge parade that we ended up in the middle, and it was very serious. It wasn't a lot of partying going on. It was very serious. How come it's so serious?
The independence is a serious thing for us because we have to do a lot to fight for the independence, and that's why it's sometimes even for us a little bit more serious nowadays. People are asking, could it be a more celebration? But we have to commemorate those who helped us to gain and regain independence.
What does it mean for you? Does it mean anything for you personally with the Independence Day?
It means, yes, of course, because I remember those days on 1991. Of course, I don't remember the first independence, 1918, but I remember those days on 1991, and I was not in Estonia in these days. So I remember those days, and I was really afraid.
What do you say? Do you have any special bonding to the Independence Day, per se, or?
Yes, my family has its roots in Estonia, and my grandmother and grandfather they left Estonia during the Second World War and ended up in Sweden. And when I was a small child, I wanted to play music and dance, and then I ended up at the Estonian house in Borås in Sweden.
In Borås?
Yes, in Borås, and we were celebrating. So when I was about 11, 12, I was the little girl in the fall costume holding the flag.
Really?
Yes, it was a big honor. So this is something you learned also in exile, the respect for the flag. And I also remember when Estonia got its independence back, that it was the time for reuniting, because there were so many people abroad. So it's really... there are different layers of meanings, and those days are very, very important to keep the nation together.
I want to ask about this. Do you think that there is with us who are not living in our birth town or birth country, that we get more proud during the Independence Day or celebration, or that that there's some kind of patriotism that comes, because I can feel that now. Both I was so young when we moved from America, so I don't think about that. But when we think about moving from Sweden, I never thought about anything that was typical Swedish. And after a year here, the first thing I said was, "It's the national day. I have to go and celebrate." And I never celebrated. And all of a sudden, it was very important to me, and I don't know where that came from, actually.
Yeah, I can say that was I lived in Broad during 20 years, and Estonia was already independent, but of course we celebrated the Independence Day, and we didn't have via internet. We couldn't see the celebration party, and I remember a very good friend of my father sent me VHA cassette. He recorded all those celebrations, and I got this by post and was so happy.
Wow. What about you? You live now in Finland, but your family is from Estonia.
Yes, and my mother, on my mother's side, I have a Swedish family, Swedish roots, and then on my father's side, I have Estonian roots, and I also have Estonian Swedish roots. And if to be really detailed, I even have a Finnish connection.
Really?
Yes, this is. When Estonia got its independence back, there was so much stories that came back. You got to know the all true stories about your own family. And one of my favorite stories, it is about. This is in the 18th century. My great father, he was a soldier from Norrland in Sweden.
Really?
Yes, but then Sweden was huge. Finland was a part of Sweden, and Estonia also.
Oh, true. Yeah,
yes.
true.
And he moved to Uusimaa, and he married a local girl, and he got 2 sons. And later, these sons ended up in Estonia. And then Nargö, Naisar, was just open for civil persons to live there. And they were the very, very first families who moved there.
Really?
Yes. But before that, I could say that I also learned that one of these brothers, before he went there, he worked in Kalamaja, which is now like the hipster part of Tallinn. And you know what he was? He was working in a pub.
A DJ.
Yes, he
was
working in a pub. So we were just saying that I'm sure he was serving handmade beer.
That's cool.
Yes.
But you were this little girl. You were 10 years old. You started singing and dancing, and all of a sudden you have a band. How did that happen?
Well, you know, I have this special interest in history, and I also very much love the stories behind history, small peoples. And I think that is why I got interested in this music that quite often is called folk music. Mm-hmm. And I was getting to know Estonia through music. I hadn't the language so well with me, so I took the high road into culture through music, and I picked up some instruments, the bowed harp that I'm playing, and I also started to search for music, and I'm just saying that we are like detectives.
Nice.
We are searching and searching for nice things to put, and then we have like a big box of goodies, but they're not like rings and brilliants or diamonds. There are like tunes and stories and songs. And when I've been to Estonia, been in Estonia a couple of years, I moved there in the 90s. Then I got to know Meelika, who is also a member of the band. Mm-hmm. And she also has such a box. But she has different diamonds and different brilliants. And then we sat down and we started to compare them. So we are putting things together that haven't been together naturally.
Trolls.
But we are really enjoying. So we're learning about ourselves, history, and also about life through the music.
Do you sing? Do you dance? Do you something?
No, I don't sing. I don't dance. I'm just organizing the other ones to dance and sing, that's my work, to organize.
What is the best part in working at the embassy?
To be a cultural attaché, I think, that's the best part.
Have you done it for a long time now?
Yes, I've done now here in Finland. That's my 6th year, and before that, I've been doing this same work, not at the embassy, but in Estonian Institute, which is also doing this cultural.
How does one
work.
end up there working at an embassy, and how do you end up in another country?
I studied languages, and those small Finno-Ugric languages, small and bigger ones. So that's why I studied Finnish. And that was why I ended up here too, because I did this work and I spoke the language. I speak the language.
Nice. So how did you guys meet?
Through the music, of course.
Through the music, of course.
Yes.
And also through the embassy.
Yes.
Because that is really something that is it's really beautiful. I'm very, very sad. I was just telling my husband that when there is this Independence Day and all these concerts, it's like half the joy comes from meeting up with the other Estonians in Finland, and you meet new friends and you get this feeling that you're a part of community. And I think that is a very beautiful work that has been done by the embassy and Tuglaseselts, Eesti Maja, etc. So it's a very nice infrastructure, and also the church. So there's so many players.
I have a very, very important question for you both. It's a bit personal, but I hope that's okay. Every Swede knows how to say one sentence in Finnish, and that's ei saa peittää. Because every time somebody has been at the bathroom, they can see that you should not cover the heater. So you read it in Norwegian, you read it in Finnish, you read it in Swedish. Do you have something in Estonian that you know that this, everyone knows it? Like tere tulemas.
No, I think the funniest word for the foreigners is terviseks.
Look, I'm not laughing. I'm doing my best not to laugh. What does that mean?
You can say it in Swedish now.
Terviseks, it's skål, but I think that people are like listening to what it sounds like and thinking of what it sounds like in English and etc. But this is yeah.
And is it really so similar but still not similar Finnish and Estonian?
Terviseks, terveydeksi. That's it.
It is really. Would you say that it's like Swedish and Norwegian?
I would say I have been spending lots of time. I've been here in Finland now for 4 years, and I had plenty of time because I got a child.
Congratulations!
To a girl when I just had moved here, so I had a maternal leave here, spending it with all those Finnish words. But the thing is that you have to look at the words really closely, and nothing is taken for granted. Because some are very similar, some do mean the same, some mean almost the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then there are some words where like you recognize them because if you think of different dialects, then you can connect them. But nothing can be taken for granted. So I think that with the Norwegian language for Swedes, I think you can really like almost...
It's easy, I think, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you about the band. How did you guys meet, and how did you become the band?
It's a little long story, but we met in the old town in Tallinn. If you come from the harbor, it is just like one of the first streets, in fact, is Uustanov, the new street. And there is a music house. And it's a fantastic house, and it was crowded with concerts and dance evenings and things. And I ended up there the very first time I was in Estonia, and I fell in love with that house and that atmosphere. So I just knew that I have to go back. I have to go back. And 1994, I moved there, and then I was learning tunes and music. And then after 1 year, I got a very good opportunity to learn very much. I got a job as a teacher. So I was teaching Estonian music. And then I really started to understand what it works like, and I learned the language through singing and through dances. And Meelika, she was like also there, and then later she also was working in the same house. And we got this idea to make a recording. We started our band with a recording. And it was just, I am doing my things, Meelika is doing her things, and then we had a third singer in Sweden, Emma Herdelin, and she was singing some of the songs in her way. And then we were just mixing it together. So then it was not like thinking together or making music together. But when we have been doing that for some time, like Meelika sings, my things, then we realized that we want to play together. We want to do things together. And we also realized that quite many of those songs, they are in dialect, old Swedish. And no, I mean, it's hard for a Swede to understand them. But they are so good stories. So we realized that we wanted to sing them in Estonian. So we got help from Jaak Johansson. And he translated them into Estonian, so they are possible to sing. And then we also started to, mixing things, and then we invited Robert and Mile also to the band. And Mile was in fact one of my violin pupils.
Really?
Yes. So when I was learning by teaching, then she was one of my very first pupils. So it's a nice way we have together.
I'm really so happy. I'm really so happy that you are here. I'm very happy about this coalition with the Estonian embassy. I hope we do much more together because through the embassies we also get to know a lot more of the cultures that we have just around us. I'm very happy about working together with you. It has been taking a long time, but we are here, and I'm happy we didn't give up. And also very happy that you came to play at our other Luckan. It's a nice place. And to all of you over there, when you're watching this, it's actually going to be the Independence Day. So before we take a little break and wait until the concert, I really want to learn how to say Happy Independence Day in Estonian.
Head iseseisvuspäeva.
Head
Iseseisvuspäeva.
Iseseisvuspäivät. Did I sound like I'm drinking now?
It was nice.
It's good. Happy Independence Day, and hope to see you soon again. Bye.